Thank you, Mr. Bear. I'd just like to clarify a couple of things with regards to the same item Councillor Vandenberg has mentioned, 7.3. It was actually my question because for my entire first year at Council, I have actually been asking and seeking similar information to you, Councillor Vandenberg, about how to apply the Gender Equality Act and various other pieces of legislation, both state and federal, which seem to me to eradicate sex-based rights in law. No doubt councils and staff are aware of the concept of positive discrimination. For example, in principle, it is not discrimination to deny males entry to female-only single-sex spaces because males as a class are physiologically distinct from females and because sex-based rights have long been acknowledged as fundamental human rights. I argue that in the same way, it is not discrimination to deny males of any gender identity entry to those services and spaces that are designed exclusively for the female sex, such as toilets and change rooms, and I am not alone. However, by my reading, the law now treats those two ideas as interchangeable. In good faith, I was hoping and searching for space under the current Victorian laws to find a civil compromise with the transgender community and under these laws so that we could provide sex-based rights and services for our residents in Melton in addition to, rather than instead of, transgender rights. I spent my first year asking these questions. I asked all the other councils in Victoria. They didn't really have anything helpful to say. I asked staff. They felt unable to answer. They told me to ask the Gender Equality Commissioner and the LGBTQ Commissioner, who I did, and they told me to ask the Equal Opportunity and Human Rights Commissioner. So we booked a meeting with the Commissioner, who after receiving my very ordinary questions that I've just outlined to you, refused outright to meet with us as councillors, presumably forever, I'm not sure. They declined to rebook a meeting. Then I happened to be at a cultural awareness and human rights training session from the Human Rights and Equal Opportunity Commission, and those trainers, I asked them my questions, and they said that in certain circumstances you could decide that one right was ascendant over another. And I asked them, well, in the case of toilets and change rooms, wouldn't biological sex be the ascendant quality rather than gender identity? Oh, that's a difficult question. We'll need to make another meeting for that. That meeting is also yet to be booked. Now, I've been told that it's up to us as councillors to sort this out, and I am so relieved to hear that. And I really look forward to bringing a motion to council and hearing what all of you have to say in public on this issue. Because can I just tell you that I totally reject your contention that women's rights are discriminatory. I believe that sex-based rights are inalienable human rights. As a female victim of male sexual assault, as a mother who has carried 5 and given birth to 4 children, including 3 daughters, as a teacher who understands how important sex-based privacy is in safeguarding the rights and the dignity of my students, as a patient who, when I ask for a female gynecologist or doctor, I expect to be sent a female, as a counsellor who cares deeply for the safety and privacy and dignity of my residents, and I am especially concerned for the women and especially our Muslim community under these laws, I would like to take this opportunity to condemn every law in Australia that undermines sex-based rights, and I call on the Human Rights Commissioner and the state government to clarify publicly whether or not we have sex-based rights in Victoria. We want to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Deeming. Councillor Vandenberg.
Mr. Mayor, so can I clarify a question with you, Councillor Deeming? So you would like to segregate transgender people to use their own toilets separate to every other individual. Is that what you're indicating?
What I'm indicating, Councillor Vandenberg, is that under the law, gender identity and sex are separate categories. Therefore, shouldn't be discrimination to, as per the norm, exclude males from female spaces. If people with a gender identity feel unsafe in a particular space, then we should accommodate for that. We should look after those people. But you do not eradicate women's rights that have been so hard won. You accommodate them by reaching a civil compromise. That is not discrimination. That is civil society.
Thank you, Councillor Deeming. Any other councillors require any further clarification? Councillor Ramsey.
Mr. Mayor, I've loved the discussion, but it's only the point of order would be it's question time. We've already gone into almost debate.